big thank you to all the realtors that are moving here to the greater Phoenix area and reaching out to use us for a relocation team. Look, not only do we pay a referral fee, but it's really fun working with people that are in the same industry. Here's the thing though, Arizona is completely different, it seems like, than most states. So let me walk you through what the costs are and what the steps are when buying a home in the greater Phoenix area. Don't go anywhere. We're going to get at it right after this. So I was listening to a podcast called Bigger Pockets, which, by the way, if you're an investor, I would highly recommend that you subscribe to their service. It is unbelievable the amount of information that even I learn on that every single podcast. Anyways, when I was listening to what they were talking about on this particular episode, they were talking about the cost in Washington State, Seattle, Washington, to purchase a home and all the different inspections. And that's when I was like, holy moly, like people don't realize if you're coming from another state, honestly, how inexpensive many of the normal real estate type of transactional costs are maybe in your state, but they're not in Arizona. So I thought this would be a great video to talk about what those buyer costs are when you're buying a home in Arizona. So let's get started right now. So if you are also a real estate professional, you know how important it is to understand the current market, which, by the way, if you are a real estate agent, if you're looking to refer business or become our client, please give us a call. We do pay a referral fee. But the most important thing is market knowledge. And this transitions into pricing. Like, what are you going to offer on a home that's on the market? Well, we have 3 different types of homes on our market today. The first one is going to be the super hot, over the top, beautiful, maintained, updated, lots of amenities, and priced well. Those homes in 2023 are still receiving multiple offers. So you're going to want to be ready to pull the trigger if this is the home that you love the best. Number 2, we have those overpriced listings. Now, it depends on how you look at it. Now, we do have some of those pie in the sky type of sellers. I can think of 2 right off the top of my head that they bought their home less than 18 months ago. They put like $150,000, $200,000 in their backyard. It's super easy to do. And I'll tell you, everybody here loves to live in the outdoors, except for 2 months out of the year. And they are now trying to sell their home and their pricing is just ridiculous. Now, these homes stand out. I tell you, absolutely gorgeous. But here's the thing. They bought the home a year and a half ago. One seller owns the home free and clear. They paid cash. The other one has like a 2.9% interest rate. So both of these scenarios, these sellers, they can wait. Now, some sellers are listed a little too high and you will see a very quick reaction on adjusting sales prices. So that is the way you can check, you can watch on Zillow or Redfin. If you see a home you like and it's sitting on the market for a long time, like 30 days, 60 days, and there is no movement, it's not by any chance. It's not the fact that they haven't received an offer and maybe the seller is motivated to sell. It actually tells us that the seller is not motivated to sell, and chances are they've probably received offers or many inquiries. Now, the other one that you see that has been on the market and you see a price change within 2 weeks, those are going to be your more motivated sellers. Now, in our market right now, it's just crazy. Even if you offer list price, if it's right off the bat, some sellers are waiting. So it's important that you understand how you position yourself as a buyer, because if you want that house, we're going to get that house for you. So you know what you need to do is you need to give us a call and shoot us a text or send us an email. We'll do 2 things. Number 1, we will set you up on our monthly market update. This is not part of my YouTube channel, so this is sent directly to you from my email. And we will also do a Zoom call and we'll actually show you charts and graphs if you're into that kind of thing, because this girl is, and I will show you where the market trends are. We usually can talk out only about 3 or 4 months, but we have a pretty good indication of what's going on when we see what the trajectory looks like. My favorite word. All right, let's get on to now. When you are ready to purchase that home, we will advise you based on all these variable data as to where you should come in if you want the home. There's a different type of buyer out there, and those are the ones that are looking for a deal. We can help you out too. You just got to give us a call, shoot us a text. We will get on this for you right away before interest rates come down and the majority of the buyers come back out. Another part that's really different between states is the earnest deposit. Look, earnest deposit here in Arizona, though, means something, okay? I've spoken to some agents that are from Tennessee and even Georgia, and they say earnest is really not that big of a deal. Well, here in Arizona, it really is. Earnest deposit here is about 1.5% of the purchase price. If you have a $500,000 home, a $5,000 earnest deposit is actually more than acceptable. If you're in a competing situation, $7,000, $7,500 would really put you on the top and make you look like a strong buyer. Now, on the other hand, if you're a $1 million buyer and you're only putting down $10,000, you don't look very strong, and they might not take your offer super serious. Even if it might have the price point, that 10,000 might be construed or viewed as being weak. So you want to make sure you have earnest deposit money readily available, as it will need to be deposited within 1 to 2 business days of contract acceptance. The next part is our inspection period is a standard 10 days. That is 10 calendar days. And we as a team like to get those ordered literally within the first 24 to 72 hours. All right, 24 is a little aggressive, but like within 2 or 3 days. And what we recommend that all our buyers do are at least 2 different inspections right off the bat. The first one would be a general home inspection, which would be literally turning on every single light, opening doors, flushing toilets, running the sink, running all the appliances, checking your roof, opening and closing doors, including your garage door, your front door, your windows. You get my point, right? And they're going to highlight for you anything that comes up that they feel is outside of their scope of expertise. And this is why we do it right off the bat. So if something comes up, let's say there's something wrong with the pool and he's just not sure what it is, that gives us time to hire now a pool inspector. Now, the original general inspection here in Arizona, depending on the size of the home, is going to be anywhere from about $350 to $500. Now, if the home is significantly larger than a standard home, if it's a 6,000 square foot home, you're probably going to be paying a lot more in a lot of different things. But for the sake of this video, we're just going to take the average home, let's just say around 2,000 to 2,400 square feet. So that's going to be about a $450 home inspection fee. Now, the termite fee, a termite report is separate, and I would recommend that you get that. And I will tell you why in a moment, because the inspection company that I use offers warranties when you use them. The termite report these days is running anywhere from $75 to $85. And that is just for wood infesting bugs. Here's the thing. In Arizona, you're going to have termite some point. Is it now or is it going to be later? It's not a matter of if, it's when. Here's the thing though. To treat your home here in the greater Phoenix area, and again, we're taking a standard 2,000 to 2,500 square foot home, we don't have to do the whole tenting craziness like you do in other states. Here, it's just some drills down into the ground, and it is non-obtrusive. It will not harm your pets, although I would recommend you keep your pets inside the house, but they don't have to go in your house at all whatsoever. And this, you can do an entire treatment of an entire house for $650. Once that home inspection comes back, like I said, and it might have some things that pop up. Like if it does say that there are some cracked and moved tiles, you don't need to have a separate roof inspection. Maybe you just have the seller repair all the roof items. That's super normal. I'll be honest. The only time I've ever seen like really the need of a roof inspection is if the home was built in 1970 and, you know, there was some compromised dry rot and there just, I mean, the home was old and it hadn't been taken care of. And that's when we needed to have a roofer out there. Now we can get a roofer out there. There is no cost with my contacts, and they will not only give you an evaluation, but also a price to replace it if and when that is important to you. Now, depending on the age of the roof, we will let you know. Again, the inspector will tell you also what that life expectancy is, because if the roof roof is only 10 years old, you really don't need a full roof inspection. You do need the original inspector to tell you what the status of it is, because you should have your roof inspected every 5 years to have it maintained properly. That's enough about the roof. But if they notice any mold, if they notice any excessive cracks, that's another thing. If they notice drainage, like if they notice cracks in the foundation, because again, we have post-tension slabs in most of the homes in Arizona. So again, from this general inspection though, from there, we're going to be able to tell you what other inspections you're going to need. Now, some of those inspections, like a radon inspection, is going to be about $250. A sprinkler inspection is going to be about $70. And you don't need that one, by the way. Another pool inspection is going to be about $150. Again, the roof inspection, no charge for our contacts. Trying to think what other inspections I have seen. Any that you need, we can make arrangements for you for though. Here's what I love about using the inspection company that I use is that after they do the home inspection, they provide additional warranties. The first one is called the recall check, and they will send you an email every single year letting you know if there's been any recalls on any of the major appliances in your home. I love that. They have a free 90-day sewer line and main water line protection. Oh my God, that is so important. And they also have mechanical and structural coverage, zero deductible for the first 90 days. Same thing with mold protection. And they also include a 1-year termite protection and a 5-year roof leak repair coverage policy. So again, some people want to waive the inspections, even back in the day when the market was just absolutely nutty, but you were always entitled to get an inspection. Let me tell you, even though sometimes coming out of pocket that, you might be out maybe 600, 700, 800 now between all the inspections, it is surely a lot less money than if you didn't know about it and were surprised with the repair bill. All right, the next chunk of money you need to be aware of, and this is very property specific, and this is HOAs. Every HOA has their monthly fees, or they might be billed quarterly, and they also potentially have a transfer fee and a capital improvement fee and prepaid. So let me walk you through them real briefly. There are a ton of homeowners associations that have not been raising their monthly HOA fees on schedule as they should have when they built their communities 20 years ago. And when I say that firsthand because it happened to my HOA. So they were so proud that they were like one of the lowest, HOAs. It was like something ridiculous, $90 for 3 months, right? They were so proud of it and everything. And I was like, how are the reserves? And they were like, we don't need the reserves though, because we're doing just fine. I'm like, let me tell you, when my home turned 20 years and 25 years, and in the future now 30 years, there are things that have to be taken care of. If you have large retention areas, if you have community walkways, if you have trails, if you have trees, there's so many things that the HOA does take care of, even if you don't have a clubhouse or a swimming pool and those kind of things. So the HOA usually in their bylaws, it'll have in there that they can, increase it like 1.5%. Well, what's 1.5% on $90? It would have been like $2 a year. And if they had continued at that rate, they'd be in good place. Well, here's what happened. Lots of HOAs didn't do this. And here is where it's surprising people when they're buying today. The HOA transfer fee that used to be back in the day like $100, $200, I'm now seeing up to $2,500. I'm sorry, I have to pay for your mistake. Like, I kind of got pissed about it because I don't think it should be assessed to the new homeowner buying into the community. I think it should be assessed to the seller. They're the ones that earned the appreciation and are getting all the profit. But again, I have no say. So be aware of that. Transfer fees can be rather large, and this is part of your closing costs. It's just a one-time fee. And if it's not a transfer fee, it's coming in the disguise of a capital improvement fee. Now, a capital improvement fee is a little bit different from a bookkeeping standpoint, but from a buyer perspective, it's just painful to have to pay that. So be smart, use the right realtor. We can ask for the seller to pay for that. Believe you me, we do. Let me tell you, we make the rest of the offer so amazing. We make the seller pay these fees. All right, the last one is the prepaids. Now, prepaids are just prepaid monthly or prepaid quarterly. It's usually one full quarter. So you're just going to have to plan. So if your HOA is $300 a month, know that there will be an additional $900 collected up front. If your HOA is $100, it's only $300. But again, good for conversation with us when you're getting ready to buy and when we're looking at the home. Like, if closing costs are important to you, let's make sure we address that. All right, here's the next big thing. thing. This is where I get the biggest wool. That would be with the moving expenses. Make sure that you're doing a lot of research on moving companies. It is the #1 industry with massive fraud and massive problems. Just make sure you use a reputable company and make sure you work with us. Again, we're a relocation team. We help people with these steps. And when I say help, we help plan out your steps. So first you put your home on the market. Now you're going to purge. Do not pay to bring your junk from wherever you're at to here. I had one buyer that wanted a garage just because they had so much junk. Do not pay for a bigger house so that you can store your junk. Purge. And I'll tell you, the furniture out here is completely different than from wherever you're coming from. And you don't need half the coats from wherever you're coming from. But anyways, the moving companies, you want to shop. Just because Pod is the big one doesn't mean they're the only storage box companies out there. There are a ton. And the further you plan in advance, the more money that you will save. But don't try and save money and going the cheap route. You want to make sure that your items, your personal items, are taken care of. This is the next part where we can kind of come in handy and come into the picture, and we help our movers with short-term rentals. The last part that's super important, and you got to give us a call, is putting that whole plan together. How do you make that transition from where you're at, most likely selling a home, and then finding a home here? Do we write a contingent offer? Where are you on the sale of your home to write that contingent offer? How strong of an offer can you write if you are a contingent buyer? How we can kind of work around that. Maybe you sell your home, we put you in a short-term rental. Now here's something that's very different than any other agent out here. We have a relationship with literally hundreds of short-term rental property owners, and they know we work with relocation buyers, people that are in the transition, and they are ready to give us smoking deals. This is not done through Airbnb or VRBO or all the other different. This is a private network of relationships that we have built, and we will help our clients get into short-term rentals for a reduction in price. It's not going to be the same prices that you're going to pay in Airbnb, etc. We'll connect you directly with the property owner with the understanding of the exact move-in date, the exact move-out date. Some of the utilities will be paid for, and you would just pick up like the electricity, because this would be long-term stay comparatively as opposed to a vacation. Look, we have all the answers. We do. Every single step of the way, we have an answer, a contact, or a resource for you. But you know what? We can't help you out unless you give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, days, nights, or weekends. We are here to help you with that entire relocation process from beginning to end. We cannot wait to hear from you soon. All right, guys, take care, be kind, and be safe, and we will see you soon. Bye.